Hi, this is Don Matheson from ScottsdaleRealEstate.com and AZ Golf Homes, and we're really excited because we're here today with Marshall Brown. And Marshall has got a really unique position in the city of Scottsdale, and he's going to tell us all about water. So, Marshall, I got a couple quick questions for you. Can you tell us? I get asked a lot by relocating people, both from Canada and relocating corporate people. What's the water situation? Are we going to run out? Are we going to have enough to make coffee in the morning? That kind of thing. So, could you tell us a little bit about water and what our water needs are and your view of that?
Sure, Don. Water in Arizona is obviously a very precious commodity, but we have a considerable amount of water that comes from the Colorado River. So the Colorado River obviously has a lot of water, even though some of the storage facilities are a little bit down right now. The allocations to municipalities in Arizona have not been affected to this point. And if they were affected, it would reduce water allocations slightly. However, there would still be plenty of water to make coffee in the morning and sustain life. In fact, Scottsdale is fairly well positioned. We have over 100,000 acre feet of water per year allocated to Scottsdale. We're currently using approximately 80,000 acre feet a year. So we have about 20% of our allocation that we've not even needed to this point. So if allocations, dry years hit us, those allocations might be affected 5 to 10%, but we still have excess water in our allocation. So Scottsdale's positioned very well. That being said, again, water in the desert is fairly precious, and it's highly in demand. So,
Right.
Scottsdale specifically, we get about 70% of our water, 65 to 70% from the Colorado River, and then we get about 10% from reclaimed water. So we recycle the water and we use that for turf irrigation, mostly golf course facilities, some other turf facilities. And then the remainder of our water comes from either the SRP canal system, Lake Roosevelt, and the other lakes in the SRP system, in addition to a little bit of groundwater.
And SRP being, for people out there in video land, what does SRP mean?
SRP is the Salt River Project. It was a federally initiated project back in the early 1900s to capture water from local watersheds, the Salt River watershed and the Verde watershed, and bring that water here to the valley for primarily agricultural uses. Initially, it's used primarily for municipal uses now.
So if you had to have, Marshall, one tip that you could share with homeowners and even businesses alike to conserve water, what would you kind of think would be on your top 10 list?
Yeah.
A couple items.
Water in Arizona is used primarily outdoors. So about 70% of our water use is outdoor in Scottsdale. So you're going to be able to save substantially more water outside than you can inside. The plants in Arizona, a lot of the native plants, don't actually need much water. So if people are careful with their landscaping selection, they can actually reduce their water use. They could cut it almost in half, most people, by just selecting plants carefully and watering them only the amount they need instead of the amount that a lot of people put on those plants.
So you'd want to check your watering timer systems just to make sure that you're using the right amount of water, and there's probably lots of information available on that on various websites and that kind of thing. Do you have a website that the consumers can go to as well, Marshall?
We do. We have a website with a conservation link at scottsdaleaz.gov. You can go there and find water conservation tips online, as well as contacting the City of Scottsdale Water Resources Department. We have a lot of printed literature that will have plant selection guides, water use guides, and you can set your timers accordingly to water the plants. Again, the amount they need. Most plants here are overwatered beyond what they could ever consume.
Right.
and consequently, that's where most of the water use is.
Well, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna check my timer
Yeah.
and make sure that everything's running smoothly, and I'm gonna check that website. And today, we're here with Marshall Brown, who's the Water Resources Director for the City of Scottsdale, and I'd really like to thank you for being here and sharing your time with us today. Thanks, Marshall.
Thank you.
All righty.